Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I have a new series for you today and it is a collab with the Crafty Ways here on YouTube. So you'll definitely have to check out her video below, but we decided to do this series called Color Theories, which is a weekly series where we showcase basically a monochromatic layout every week. So we're starting in rainbow order, so obviously we'll start with red, but we also grouped pink into here so it was easier and we had an even number of colors for this series. So I'm starting with some white cardstock and matting it on some DCWV paper from the blush collection. So I did a lot of pink on this layout. I've already saw Ariana's layout and it's really beautiful. She did a 2-page spread for a mini album, so you guys definitely have to check that out. I'll have her link down below and you should definitely subscribe to her. She recently just started a Crafty Kit Club you should also check out, so go over to her channel to find out more about that. But I am currently using this photo, which is a photo of me and my boyfriend, and I thought it was perfect to use for this red and pink sort of theme. I went with like a love theme, you know, classic, but not using like any Valentine's Day products. Actually, that's a lie. I do use some Valentine's Day products, but they're just die cuts and they're not super Valentine's Day-y, so it's fine. So, like I showed you, I pulled out a bunch of stuff to use on this layout. I recently purchased this Heidi Swap stamp set from Joann's, and it was only $1.59. Like, that is so cheap for a stamp set, and it has such beautiful pieces. I'm just test stamping some things. I'm going to cut most of that out because I don't cut these ones out. I'll stamp them again later because I like to waste time like that. But I will be using this wood veneer that I have had forever, and I'm going to be painting it pink, because I thought the wood was just too much for this layout, like having the red, the pink, and then the natural color was just too much for me. So I decided to use this bubblegum pink color, water it down so the wood texture still shines through, because I don't know if you can tell in the video, but the piece has like different depths of wood and they're different colors for some more added texture, so I just wanted to make sure those shine through. I'll also be using a baby wipe to blot some of the paint off. So you can see that here, or maybe it's a paper towel. I don't really remember. So again, this is like a bubblegum pink color, also from Joann's. So you guys can find it there. It's just an acrylic paint though, so you can pretty much find that anywhere. So after some cleanup, and I'm letting that dry, I need to figure out some more things for this piece. So I know I want that flower to go on the right bottom side of my photo to have a diagonal from the top left to the bottom right. So that's my plan now. So I'm going to trim down the photo so I can do some paper layers. And I'm using 2 papers. They're both from the Pebbles Garden Party collection. And of course, as I do in all my videos, I have to write down the date somewhere before I forget to add it to the layout after I've glued it down already. So again, I'm adding these 2 photos, or this photo on 2 pieces of pink patterned paper. One is a light pink and then I also have a dark pink. They basically mimic the pinks that I used in the border paper. And as you could tell, I didn't cut out the middle of that paper because I know I have another 12 by 12 sheet in that paper pad. And if I just kept it, I know I wouldn't have used it. And I have a lot of supplies, and just cutting out a 10 by 10 square or rectangle or whatever you want to call it doesn't really want me to make me use it more. So I just decided to leave it. I don't tend to gut my papers unless it's something that I really love. So after a bunch of fidgeting, which you saw me cut out a bunch there, I finally decided to use a black doily. Now this starts a sort of mindset to use this black as a bold color among the red and the pink. So I'll be using a couple more black details to tie it all together. I have this little heart bowl to the left here that I'm going through, and these pieces are from my stash that I picked out for this series, the Color Theory series. I picked out a bunch of red and pink things and just threw them all in there so it was easier for me to create. Now I decided that since I haven't glued down my background paper to the border paper yet, I can add another little strip in there. So I decided to add this black strip, and I cut it wrong the first time, so I gotta recut it. No surprise there, when don't I cut things wrong. But I just wanted to add another pop of color. And again, with the gutting out of the paper, this paper is from Oriental Trading. If you don't know that website, it's a website for mostly like, you can buy a lot of things there, but they do offer some craft supplies, but they're not the best quality. So this paper is the same as printer paper. It is very thin, so I decided if I did gut it, I wouldn't be able to use it that well, so I just decided to leave it in there, add another layer, it's fine. So I had a little border of black there. Now I have created this cluster in the bottom right. Most of the die cut pieces are from the Michaels Valentine's Day collection from 2017, so I bought them once they were on clearance and then just threw them on here. I'm also using a flare that came from a rack, which is in the top left, and a flare that came from a Project Life flare kit in the bottom right. I also tucked in a little bit of red heart polka dot washi tape from Freckled Fawn. Love Freckled Fawn washi tape. Check them out for all the washi tape. They have great sales sometimes, so you can get washi tape for like $1 or $2 less. And they even have gold foiling washi tapes, thin washi tapes, thick washi tapes, little sets of washi tapes. Great washi tapes. I just went through some Heidi Swap acetate pieces. I usually don't buy acetate, but when I saw these on sale, I had to pick some up. So I picked up the red ones, which is perfect because I didn't even remember we were doing this in the start of May, or close to the start of May. So once I had the base pieces glued down, I wanted to do a little bit more stamping here. So what I end up doing is taking some of the phrase stamps from the Heidi Swap stamp set and using some Memento ink and stamping them. They look exactly like phrase stickers, so it's perfect, and you can reuse them in whatever color you want. So I'm really excited to try these in different colors because I usually only buy phrase stickers in the traditional black, white, silver, or gold. Not a huge color person, so this is also a really fun challenge for you guys to join in on us, because I know that I don't do a lot of monochromatic layouts, nor do I also have like colors that I don't gravitate towards a lot, like lime green, but you know, we're probably going to touch on that in the green section, so I really hope you guys enjoy this series. If you guys have any questions, let us know. If you have any suggestions about the color challenge, let us know. We'd be happy to answer them, but definitely check out Ariana, the Crafty Ways video down below. And I hope you like what she makes, because I surely did. Now I'm going to just cut out all the images that I stamped and tuck them in on my layout. Now I also need to glue everything down, so that's always a fun part. I have to glue the wood veneer down, and a lot of these items were, like, sometimes I used my fine line bottle, sometimes I used my ATG gun, whatever the material was that worked best, or if it was a small piece I could just use the fine line bottle, whatever worked I used. So just gluing all that down. So this cluster down in the bottom right is one of my favorites on this layout. I mean, there's only 2 clusters, but that's besides the point. This is one of my favorites because of all the dimension and the textures, because I have the wood veneer and then the lace of the doily and then the flare, which adds a rounded feel, and then the XOXOs up on top of the wood veneer, and then I also have the glitter hearts, which are from a Target sticker pack from Valentine's Day, like 2 years ago maybe. I've had that set forever, but that's okay. I'm using them, so that's good. So adding a lot of texture is something very important to my layouts. I don't know if you guys do a lot of texture in your layouts. I know a lot of people just like dimension, but I like to consider it texture, so using wood veneer or paint or modeling paste. Those are all different textures as well as flare or enamel dots. They all add a different texture besides paper to the layout, which I find very intriguing and fun to look at. So now I'm struggling with my Tim Holtz Tiny Attacher, because that's the best way to attach acetate pieces in my book. So after like 5 million times of taking staples out and then them getting stuck again, I end up getting it to work. But you get to watch it all because apparently I didn't cut any of it out. But it was short. And you also saw the flare pop off there because it's one of the flares that doesn't have the actual flat back. It has the raised back, so it's hard to put anything in. But what I end up doing is putting ATG tape around the outside edge as well as liquid glue, because that always works for getting the pieces. So just put a little bit of ATG down, and then it's all set. Again, this flare, I have no idea where it's from. It's black and white, and it has like little flowers and lines on it. Again, no idea where it's from. I received it in a rack, which was very nice. I received it in one of the groups I'm a part of on Facebook. So now I'm just looking through more embellishments that I don't really need but just want to add because I feel like this layout's lacking. I mean, honestly, it is at this point. There's just not a lot there. Very empty right now because white cardstock, I usually don't work with white cardstock, but I thought this was going to be a mixed media layout. So I did the white cardstock and then I just didn't follow through on that mixed media piece. I try another one of the stamps from the Heidi Swap set, but I don't like the way it stamps because It's very blotchy with the ink pad that I have, and instead of struggling getting out another ink pad, I just tossed that idea. I do grab these Sticko glitter heart stickers. These are not puffy stickers like the other ones are, but they're just flat heart stickers in red and pink, so perfect. And now I'm just kind of realizing this layout doesn't really have a title, so we're just going to go with favorite for now. So I'm just using some Tim Holtz phrase stickers. I think there's one that says I love us. I don't know what the other ones say. Actually, it's right here. One says I feel so lucky. The other one says tote or follow your heart. And this layout is almost complete. I have a couple more things to do. I'm going to eventually stamp on this layout, which stamping on layouts is the scariest thing, especially when they're almost complete. Like this layout, almost done, and I decided to stamp on it. There's this little arrow in the Heidi Swap set that's so cute, and I wanted to use it. It's just a basic arrow, but that's like one of the top things that I stamp. What's the top thing you guys stamp? I find that dates I don't stamp a lot because I hate the roller date stamps that I have. They're like uneven or something because the middle ones never stamp properly. But I do stamp arrows and hearts the most, I'd want to say, like directly onto the layout. I stamp a lot of things like on paper and then bring them to the layout, but never directly onto the layout. So that's probably the number one thing I stamp. So what's the number one thing you guys stamp directly onto your layout? Or if you're scared like me, you probably don't stamp a lot on your layout. So to add the final touch, the final touch to this layout, I'm going to do some droplets. Actually, I'm going to play with sequins first, apparently, because I really could have added the sequins. They didn't look terrible, but when I was there, the colors didn't look right, so I just left them off. I didn't really want the shiny factor in this layout. I don't know why, but I just didn't. So now I'm going to test which color I want. So I have a red and a pink, and once they dried, I'd settle on using the red. And you'll see here that I selectively dotted on a couple places because I knew those would look great there, and then I do some random ones that I let them just drop where they go. So it adds a little bit extra to this layout, but not too much. I mean, I could have done a lot more with this layout, but I really love the way the clusters came out. But that pretty much finishes up this layout, guys. I hope you enjoyed. I have close-up photos at the end, and Ariana's link will be down below, so please go check it out. You guys will love her layouts. And I can't wait to see you guys again next week at this time for the orange color theory lesson. So I hope you guys enjoyed the red and pink lesson. Please be sure to give this a thumbs up if you enjoy so we know that you do. And I'll catch you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching.